Today we are talking all about Dubsado hooking up to your calendar and how to best organize your calendar, your Google Calendar with Dubsado, how to bring them together, and how to make it work for you. I'm Lauren with The Smarter Creative. I am helping creative entrepreneurs work smarter in their business. I'm so glad you're here. So when it comes to your calendar and Dubsado, we're still limited on how it's going to connect to it. So it will only connect, your master Dubsado account will only connect with one calendar login. So as long as multiple calendars have been shared with you with that login, it will sync to that. And you can pick and choose like which calendars you want it to sync with. Unfortunately, right now, Dubsado is not great for teams where you need to, um, you know, you have a couple colleagues and Tina has availability, but Sam's booked, and your client can book with either person, and they can't choose one opening or another. It is only one calendar that you are boxed into basically. But I will show you how to make it work with a team with multiple people, if that works for you. A lot of agencies that I work with, this works. Dubsado has told us that a update is coming and it's going to be more user-friendly for small teams. I'm so waiting for that day to come, but until then, here is how we're going to sync up your calendar, how to organize your Google Calendar, and all that you can do inside of Dubsado to work for you in your small business. All right, so we're going to start inside of our dashboard with Dubsado. So here we have a calendar overview. This is my test account, so I don't have anything there, but you can't do anything from this screen. And also, I feel like it would make the most sense, like my Google Calendar integration, I would think would be under settings somewhere because that's where all my other integrations are. But that is not the case with Dubsado. You actually go into your calendar on the left-hand side, and calendar settings are here. Now, you want to, you will be able to add a calendar. You log into one Google, or I believe Microsoft account as well, it'll take. So you log in, and then all of your calendars that you have that you are either the owner of or the calendar has been shared with you, not just a view of it, but like you actually can like edit it and things. Those will all be available calendars that you can sync your Dubsado with. And here we have two options when it comes to syncing. So if I wanted to link any of these, I would just hit link and it would come down into my synced calendars. Right now, these are all just sitting here, but Dubsado is not looking to communicate with any of them. And then what happens is you go into it and you have the import and export options. So if you want to, I would highly encourage you to have both of those on. It definitely depends on how your brain works, but you definitely want to import all of those synced calendar events into your Dubsado dashboard if you want your Dubsado scheduler to see those as being not bookable spots. So like for me, I will put in personal appointments or errands I have to run or blocks that I have, and I will, in a click of a button, update my Google Calendar that is linked to Dubsado instead of adding it to my Dubsado calendar. And I know and I can trust that Dubsado will look at that specific calendar to pull events from, so no one can book an appointment with me. So when I go on vacation, I block my calendar inside of my Google Cal rather than inside of my Dubsado. And you definitely don't want to like go into all of like your scheduler templates and like delete, let's say you're traveling from May 9th to 12th. Well, you don't want to open up your each and every one of your scheduler templates or every scheduler that's out there and remove the 9th through the 12th as options for people to book with you. You want to just update and block off your calendar that it syncs from. And then the exporting option is all of your appointments. I'm going to come over to back to our calendar here. So if you have an appointment or a project, it is going to be here. And I believe even a task. So let's see. And this is synced to my client work. Open that up. And then, yep, it popped up right here under test task for that date. And it came through as client work in this green color that I have. And then here inside of Dubsado, it is pink. These colors not changeable inside of Dubsado, unfortunately. So they have, and Dubsado has a how-to of like what all the different colors mean, and your invoices will be here as well. And I could create a project right from the calendar, which is nice. So these 3 colors, I have the appointment, the project, and the task all for April 5th. And then they all immediately show up here in my Google Calendar, but they're all exported to the same calendar. And at this time, I cannot export just appointments, just tasks, or just projects to different calendars. All those exports have to go to the same calendar. It would be amazing if I could have like my projects on one Google Calendar, my tasks on another, and then my appointments on another. It would be great for sharing and all the things, but that's not an option just yet. And hope Dubsado will adjust that, but for now, we are working with what it is. If you ever have an appointment that someone scheduled with you and it's on your Google Calendar, it's in your Dubsado calendar, but you can't find the information for them, like their phone number is not readily available, most likely you use just a scheduler template to book with them, and it's not tied to a project, so those project details are not in the description of the project. When you do actually have a project calendar, like when you do actually have the event scheduled through a project, you'll actually get details here, and you'll be able to see the invoice link. These are all static: the company, the client name, the client email, their phone number, and the invoice link. So you do want to be cautious, like who all sees the calendar, because these are public, like anybody can open it. So if you have a team and you really don't want people to see the final invoice that client has, but you want them to actually have that meeting with the client, you're going to want to not just add them to this calendar that has all these meetings with it, because it's going to have that. If you are like, if your pricing is clear and your team knows your pricing, your clients all know your pricing, like it's not a big deal, then it's fine if they see the invoice and they just need to know that they don't need to worry about it. It's fine. So if you ever want to actually share a calendar with somebody, you're going to go settings and sharing inside of a Google Calendar, settings and sharing. And then you can share with very specific people to add them to. And then you can see their settings here of what they can and cannot do. And all of your settings under if like a new event is added, you can be updated to it. So if you wanted to share the public URL to the calendar or embed it someplace, you just want to make sure up at the top that your permissions are to make available to the public. So for a team setting, maybe you want to share your calendar that's linked with Dubsado for all exported Dubsado like tasks, projects, calls, things. And then you have a team calendar that has all of those with it. And you can invite, they can all see it for reference. And then in those individual calendar links, you can actually invite the proper people that need to be a part of it, or they can invite themselves if they need to be a part of that call or not. You could go a little bit more in depth with your calendar because your calls with Dubsado are based off of your scheduler templates, like the appointment name. They're always going to have the name of the person who you're calling from dash appointment name. So personally, I would have it be like free consultation with the Smarter Creative. So when it pops up on my client's calendar, they know it's not just like free consultation and no information. It's like, what is that? They'll have it. And then you could easily run a zap and automation to look for any appointments with this name to it. If it's a team, like all teams on deck call, or maybe it is a template that's like call with Sarah, and Sarah is the one taking all of those calls. Well, the Zapier could like forward that scheduler to her Google Calendar if it's looking out for that call. So there are workarounds to it. Hopefully Dubsado with Teams is going to get better, but until then, it's a little hard. And it also wouldn't necessarily take Sarah's availability into account because it's not synced to her calendar. It's synced to like the general company calendar. I hope that was helpful. If so, man, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications so you know when a new video comes out. I'm putting videos out every Friday right now. We're covering Dubsado, Flowdesk, Notion, and Honeybook. And yeah, if there's anything that you really want to see covered, go ahead and leave a comment below. I love, love, love responding to the needs that you guys actually have to need to be done. So just let me know if you want to see anything specific. And if you can, also maybe let Dubsado know that you would be excited to have a team build out. But I do know that other schedulers, we can work it into Dubsado automation, so Calendly, Acuity, where there are better options for teams. It's a bit of a workaround to use a scheduler that's outside of Dubsado, but it is doable. So if you want to see that workaround, just let me know. I'd be happy to show you how to do it. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week.